It's time to take a look at what's making headlines in the newspapers. And of course, we've got the Mail and Guardian to start off with, since it's a Friday. And there's the front page of the Mail and Guardian this morning. The enemy within. Forget the DA. The biggest threat to the government of national unity is internal ANC battles. Also there, a picture, pipe dreams and nightmare scenarios, how South African cities are coping with the water crisis. At the top there, Lesotho and the buried 273 million rand tender report, and Pulemabe finally in court over the Kariki tender. That's the front page of the Mail and Guardian. Let's move on to the business day. This is what they're leading with this morning. New era for JSE and the biggest shake-up. New listing requirements and less red tape to stem the flow of delistings. 3 small enterprises will on Friday usher in a groundbreaking chapter for the JSE in its most ambitious initiative in a generation to encourage small firms to list and remain on the exchange. Picture there of President Cyril Ramaphosa, where he yesterday assured participants at Auto Week conference in Cape Town that the government is committed to supporting the South African motor industry. And we also just played you a package by SABC News on that story. A specialist in court action against NHI. 3,000, that's the number of specialists that the South African Private Practitioners Forum represents. And as the largest association of medical specialists, they've started a legal action against the National Health Insurance Act, adding to the mounting pressure on President Ramaphosa to reconsider the controversial legislation. So that, and of course some other stories further in the paper. Lesotho's illusions as Gauteng crumbles. Also Proteas end Oz women's T20 reign, and Tito Mboweni in memoriam. A few pieces penned about him. Moving on to the Star. Violence erupts over food safety concerns. Now chaos in Sharpeville and Bronkhorstspruit in backlash against foreigners' spaza shops. The streets of Sharpeville in the Vaal region were engulfed in chaos yesterday following the tragic shooting of a local tuck shop owner the night before, and a demonstration of anger and desperation. Residents of nearby Boipatong rallied for the return of their local economy, a plea that follows a series of violent incidents targeting foreign-owned spaza shops. Ramaphosa confident in concord over Phala dollar scandal. President Ramaphosa expressed his confidence in the Constitutional Court to make a final determination on the Phala scandal when it will hear an EFF application to review the decision of the National Assembly not to impeach him. A picture, the Umkhonto weSizwe party visiting families of a mass shooting in which 7 people died when a tavern owner allegedly pulled a gun on the victims and then turned it on himself in Orange Farm, south of Johannesburg. And EFF bleeds members as Mokoena resigns from Parliament. Parliament has confirmed that EFF Member of Parliament Afana Mokoena has resigned from the House. Those some of the stories the Star carries this morning. Moving on to the Citizen and their front page there, two-pot, how it's being spent, and also a picture there on the front page of the victorious Proteas ladies team, elated Proteas batter Anneke Bosch and the stunned teammate Chloe Tryon as they celebrate after beating defending champions Australia in the semi-final of the Women's T20 World Cup in Dubai. And also just back to that two-pot system, how it's being spent. 21.4 billion rand that has already been paid out highlights the deepening cost of living crisis, with 2 out of 10 South Africans opting to use it for school fees, and many plugging debt with the windfall. And then 1 in 4 teens addicted to booze. Sanka figures show that males have a 6-to-1 greater chance of seeking treatment, with teens between 14 and 17 years old accounting for more patients than their 18 to 39-year-old counterparts. That's a worrying one. And One Direction Liam Payne's star dims. Millions of fans worldwide mourn the death of the One Direction star Liam Payne, who plunged from a hotel balcony in Buenos Aires. And then finally, the Sowetan, their lead this morning. Kelly's home visitors, how I ruled them out. Now, investigator explains how he was convinced that there were intruders at Senzo's murder scene, and Gininda's version got the NPA's nod over a second police docket claiming otherwise. And Jubilee Hospital, taps run dry. Mind your business, Mangoba tells Bruce, and Vusiwe had that story in sport. And also Lifetime Award loading for Ringo. Those are the stories Sowetan leads with this morning. And don't forget the SABC website, and that's www.sabcnews.com. As you can see there, all of the stories that we've covered. There's Pastor Ray Macaulay, that memorial service from last night, the latest in the AKA case. Also, Tito Mboweni will be buried tomorrow, and so many other stories as contained the latest news on our news site. And don't forget, we also have the Plus, SABC Plus app, and that for everyone on the go, access to all SABC radio and TV stations, as well as news and sport. That's the SABC Plus app. If you haven't yet, please download it.